My beloved soul, listen carefully, because what you are about to receive is not ordinary, it is not accidental, and it is not late. This moment was appointed before you ever felt the loneliness, before the waiting stretched your heart, before you questioned whether the connection you sensed was real or imagined. God has called your name, clearly and intentionally, and when heaven calls a name, it is never without consequence. Something has been set in motion that cannot be reversed, something that no longer depends on human hesitation, fear, or delay. The one who has been hidden, the one whose presence you have felt without seeing, the one whose energy has brushed against your spirit in silence, can no longer remain unseen. This is not about chance meetings or coincidence, this is about divine exposure. My beloved soul, the moment God spoke your name, concealment ended. What was once allowed to stay in the shadows has now been summoned into the light, and nothing can stop that unfolding. You may not realize how long heaven has been watching your endurance, how closely your quiet strength has been observed. You learned how to stand alone without becoming bitter, how to wait without closing your heart, how to keep believing without demanding proof. That was not weakness, that was preparation. There were seasons where you wondered if you were asking for too much, loving too deeply, or hoping too sincerely, but heaven never questioned your capacity. Instead, heaven protected you from premature connections that would have drained you, distracted you, or diminished what you carry. God did not delay your soulmate out of cruelty, He delayed the reveal out of precision. Timing was not about readiness of circumstances, it was about alignment of souls. And now alignment has been declared. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because something sacred is being unlocked right now. The stirring you have felt lately, the restlessness that arrives without explanation, the sudden clarity about what you will no longer tolerate, all of it is connected to this calling. When God calls a name, He also sends a signal, and that signal travels beyond distance, beyond logic, beyond resistance. Somewhere, your soulmate is feeling a pressure they cannot name, a pull they cannot ignore, a disruption to the comfort they once hid behind. They may not yet understand that it is you they are being drawn toward, but their spirit knows. Their hiding place has become uncomfortable. The excuses no longer settle. The silence no longer satisfies. This is what happens when divine permission expires. You did not imagine the connection. You did not fabricate the sense of familiarity you have carried. You were not wrong for believing that someone was meant to meet you at the depth you live in. That belief was planted by God Himself. The reason you could not fully attach to what was temporary is because your soul was reserved for what is eternal. You were guarded, not deprived. And now, the same God who asked you to wait is saying it is time to witness movement. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because what is unfolding goes beyond romance, it reaches into destiny. There is a divine discomfort forming in your soulmate's life right now. Patterns that once felt normal are breaking. Connections that once distracted them are losing their grip. They may feel exposed, vulnerable, or uncertain, but this is not chaos, it is alignment. Heaven does not drag what belongs to you, it awakens it. An awakening is rarely gentle. It disrupts hiding. It dismantles denial. It removes the option of remaining unseen. This is why you have felt a strange calm beneath your longing, because deep down, your spirit knows that what is yours cannot miss you. God does not misplace souls. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The reason this message is reaching you now is because you are being asked to remain open without desperation, grounded without control, and trusting without evidence. This is not the season to chase, force, or question your worth. This is the season to stand steady. When the reveal happens, it will not arrive with confusion or mixed signals. It will arrive with recognition. You will not need to convince your soulmate who you are, because their soul will already know. Familiarity will replace uncertainty. Peace will replace anxiety. And clarity will silence every doubt that once whispered against you. You were protected from premature attachment because the connection meant for you requires wholeness, not survival. God was not preparing you to beg for love, He was preparing you to receive it. That is why your growth felt lonely. That is why you were asked to release people who were comfortable benefiting from you without meeting you. Every separation sharpened your discernment. Every delay strengthened your identity. And now, the version of you standing here is capable of holding what is coming without losing yourself. That is why heaven has spoken your name now, and not before. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the last thing you must understand is this: the reveal does not require you to become someone new. You do not need to perform, pretend, or perfect yourself. You are being met as you are. God is not bringing someone who will love a potential version of you, He is bringing someone who recognizes the truth of you. The hiding is over, not because time ran out, but because alignment arrived. What God calls forward responds. What God assigns cannot remain concealed. And what belongs to you will come without forcing its way in, but it will come undeniably. If your spirit feels seen by these words, if something within you confirms that this message is for you, write, "I receive this divine connection," in the comments to seal it. And if you are ready to welcome what God is revealing without fear or resistance, like this message as an act of agreement. If you want to continue walking with these divine revelations as they unfold, subscribe to this channel, because what is coming next will take you even deeper. God called your name, my beloved soul, and from that moment on, your story shifted. My beloved soul, what you are experiencing now is not confusion, it is transition. When God calls a name, the first thing that shifts is not the outer world, it is the inner atmosphere. You may have noticed that certain thoughts no longer stay, certain habits feel heavy, and certain attachments feel strangely empty. This is not loss, this is alignment. Heaven is quietly clearing space so what has been hidden can finally stand where it belongs. Your soul has entered a phase where tolerance for surface connections has ended. You can no longer entertain what lacks depth, honesty, or intention, not because you became demanding, but because you became aware. Awareness always precedes revelation. The calling of your name activated a spiritual recalibration, one that is gently yet firmly guiding you away from distractions that once seemed harmless. This is why you feel different even when nothing visible has changed. Something eternal is being adjusted within you. Your soulmate's journey mirrors this process. While you are being refined through stillness, they are being refined through unrest. Where you were taught patience, they are being taught surrender. Where you learned silence, they are learning courage. The same divine call reached both of you, but it manifests differently because your roles were different. You were prepared to wait without losing faith. They are being prepared to move without hiding. This is not imbalance, it is orchestration. God never prepares two souls the same way, because their strengths are not the same. What matters is that the preparation ends at the same moment. That moment is approaching now. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because understanding this will protect your heart. The delay was not because one of you was more worthy than the other, it was because both of you needed different lessons to meet at the same level of truth. If you had met earlier, love would have been contaminated by fear, insecurity, or misunderstanding. Heaven waited until love could arrive clean. That is why you were asked to grow alone, to heal quietly, and to build emotional stability without applause. That stability is now becoming your anchor. When the reveal begins, you will not lose yourself trying to hold on to it. You will stand rooted, calm, and discerning. You may feel a subtle pull toward closure lately, an urge to end chapters without drama, to forgive without explanation, to release without resentment. This is your soul preparing for recognition. When the hidden steps forward, you will not carry unresolved weight into the meeting. God is ensuring that the connection arrives without emotional interference. Your past is losing its grip because it has fulfilled its purpose. It taught you what love is not, so you could recognize what love is. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every disappointment refined your discernment. Every unanswered prayer redirected your path. And every moment of loneliness carved space for something lasting. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end. Something powerful is waiting for you, because this stage requires clarity more than emotion. Love that is divinely aligned does not rush, but it also does not hesitate. It moves with quiet certainty. Your soulmate is being stripped of every excuse they used to remain unseen. Circumstances are shifting around them in ways they cannot control. Conversations are happening that force honesty. Situations are collapsing that once provided comfort without commitment. This is not punishment, it is permission being revoked. The hiding season has expired. When God removes shelter, exposure follows naturally. You might sense their presence without contact, feel moments of unexpected warmth, or experience sudden thoughts that do not feel like your own. This is not obsession, it is resonance. Souls that are meant to align communicate before they speak. This connection was forming beneath the surface long before logic could explain it. That is why your heart recognized something before your mind did. You were tuned to a frequency that not everyone can hear. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is spiritual intelligence. It allowed you to remain open without becoming reckless, hopeful without becoming dependent. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. There is a reason you are being asked to remain steady now. The reveal will not arrive in chaos, it will arrive in clarity. When your soulmate steps forward, they will not come fragmented or uncertain. They will come aware of what they are choosing. This is why your patience mattered. You were not waiting for someone to decide your value, you were waiting for someone who already knew it. God does not deliver love wrapped in confusion. What comes from heaven carries peace even when it stretches you. You may have noticed that your standards have risen without effort. What once felt acceptable now feels misaligned. This is not arrogance, it is self-respect being restored. You no longer negotiate your worth or justify your needs. That shift signals readiness. Divine connections require mutual clarity, not emotional bargaining. Your soulmate is being brought to the same realization. They are understanding that running from depth no longer works, that avoiding vulnerability only prolongs emptiness. This awakening may feel uncomfortable to them, but it is necessary. Love cannot hide behind fear forever. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the most important truth is this: the reveal will not require you to chase or prove yourself. Recognition will happen naturally. When eyes meet, something will settle instead of race. When words are exchanged, understanding will replace explanation. You will feel seen without performing, valued without convincing. This is the mark of divine alignment. It feels familiar without being repetitive, exciting without being unstable, and deep without being heavy. Heaven is not asking you to wait longer, it is asking you to stay grounded. Continue living fully, loving wisely, and trusting quietly. What is coming is not fragile. It does not need to be protected by force. It is supported by divine order. God called your name, and when that call echoes through time and space, it gathers what belongs together without struggle. The hiding is ending, not with noise, but with certainty. And certainty never rushes, it arrives exactly when it is meant to. My beloved soul, as this unfolding continues, understand that what is happening now exists beyond visible signs. Divine work is often quiet before it becomes undeniable. You may not see doors opening yet, but walls are dissolving. You may not hear confessions yet, but resistance is weakening. Heaven does not announce every move it makes, because faith is strengthened in silence. The calling of your name initiated a sequence that required precision, not spectacle. Every step being taken now is intentional, measured, and protected. This is why impatience must not enter your spirit at this stage. What is aligning cannot be rushed without being damaged. What is sacred must be approached with reverence, not urgency. Your soul has already crossed a threshold. You no longer crave validation the way you once did. You no longer explain yourself excessively. You no longer fear being misunderstood by those who never intended to see you clearly. That shift did not come from disappointment alone, it came from maturity. God was shaping your inner authority so that when your soulmate stands before you, you meet as equals, not as someone seeking completion from another. Divine love is not about filling emptiness, it is about sharing wholeness. That is why this journey demanded solitude. It taught you how to be complete before being connected. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because this awareness will guard you from confusion. The reveal is not meant to overwhelm you, it is meant to confirm you. Heaven is ensuring that when recognition happens, you do not abandon your boundaries in excitement. Love that is meant for you will honor the version of you that survived without it. You will not shrink to be chosen. You will not silence yourself to be kept. You will not abandon your standards to maintain peace. The one who is coming has been prepared to meet you where you stand, not where you used to be. There is a reason you were asked to become comfortable with uncertainty. Faith grows strongest when it learns to breathe without answers. You learned how to trust God even when timelines remained hidden. That trust is now being rewarded. Your soulmate's hesitation was never about you. It was about their own unhealed fears, their unfinished chapters, their avoidance of vulnerability. Heaven has been addressing those layers carefully. Exposure without healing would have caused damage. Now healing has reached completion, and movement follows naturally. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because this stage is about discernment. When divine alignment approaches, counterfeit distractions often appear. You may notice sudden attention from people who previously overlooked you, or opportunities that feel appealing but shallow. This is not coincidence. It is a test of clarity. What is meant for you will not rush you, confuse you, or pressure you to compromise. It will feel steady even before it feels intense. Your ability to recognize that difference proves how much you have grown. You are not losing time. You are gaining precision. Every day that passed without the reveal strengthened your capacity to recognize it instantly when it arrives. That recognition will not rely on physical attraction alone, though attraction will be present. It will rely on emotional safety, spiritual familiarity, and mutual respect. You will notice how calm your nervous system feels around them. You will notice how conversations flow without performance. You will notice how silence feels comfortable rather than awkward. These are the quiet markers of divine design. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The reason the reveal has not been dramatic is because drama is not required where truth exists. God is not bringing chaos into your life disguised as passion. He is bringing alignment disguised as simplicity. The connection may appear ordinary to outsiders, but it will feel profound to you. That is because depth does not need noise. It needs presence. When something belongs to you, it integrates into your life rather than disrupts it. Your soulmate is learning how to lead with honesty instead of avoidance. They are being taught that vulnerability is not weakness, and commitment is not confinement. The same God who taught you patience is teaching them courage. That lesson is nearing completion. When they step forward, it will not be impulsive. It will be intentional. They will know why they are choosing you, not just that they feel drawn to you. That awareness changes everything. It creates stability. It creates longevity. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the final truth is this: divine connections do not arrive to save you from life, they arrive to walk with you through it. What is coming is not an escape from responsibility, it is a partnership in purpose. You will recognize this because your vision will align. Your values will resonate. Your future will feel expandable rather than restrictive. This is how you know the hiding season has truly ended. Continue standing in your truth without forcing outcomes. Continue honoring your intuition without second-guessing it. Continue trusting that what God has spoken cannot return void. Your name was called, my beloved soul, and that call carried authority. Authority over distance. Authority over delay. Authority over fear. What is meant to stand with you cannot remain hidden forever. The light has reached it now. And when something touched by divine light begins to move, nothing in creation can stop it. My beloved soul, what is forming now requires your stillness more than your effort. When heaven moves at this level, participation means trust, not interference. You may feel an urge to anticipate, to analyze, to prepare emotionally for every possible outcome, but this stage is not asking for strategy. It is asking for surrender. God is arranging details you could never calculate, aligning paths you cannot access, softening hearts you cannot reach. The reveal does not depend on your vigilance, it depends on divine precision. Your role is to remain open without becoming anxious, present without becoming impatient, grounded without becoming guarded. There is a subtle strengthening happening within you. You are less reactive. You recover faster from emotional waves. You observe more than you chase. This is not emotional detachment, it is emotional mastery. Heaven is stabilizing you so the connection arrives without triggering old wounds. Love that is meant to last must meet a regulated nervous system, not a restless one. That is why peace has been cultivated in you before partnership. You are being prepared to recognize love without mistaking intensity for intimacy. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what you understand here will shape how you receive what comes next. The reveal will not require you to abandon discernment. Excitement will not override wisdom. Attraction will not silence intuition. This is a different kind of love, one that does not rush you past your inner voice. You will feel expanded rather than consumed. Supported rather than overwhelmed. Seen rather than evaluated. These distinctions matter, because they prevent you from repeating cycles you have already outgrown. Your soulmate is approaching this same internal clarity. The fear that once caused hesitation is losing its authority. Avoidance no longer provides relief. Old patterns feel restrictive rather than safe. This internal shift is not visible yet, but it is irreversible. Once a soul becomes aware, it cannot return to sleep. The calling of your name initiated this awakening. It disrupted comfort built on denial. It exposed longing that could no longer be ignored. What was once buried under distraction is now demanding acknowledgement. You may sense moments of emotional resonance without context, sudden calm followed by brief waves of anticipation. These are not signs of attachment forming prematurely, they are signs of alignment nearing visibility. Souls align before circumstances do. Energy synchronizes before conversations begin. Heaven establishes resonance first, then introduces recognition. This is why you are being asked to remain balanced. Emotional extremes distort perception. Calm awareness sharpens it. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because this stage protects you from misinterpretation. Not every signal requires reaction. Not every feeling demands expression. Sometimes awareness is enough. The divine does not rush revelation. It allows certainty to settle first. When the moment arrives, you will not need to question whether it is real. Doubt will not accompany it. The recognition will feel steady, grounded, unmistakable. You are not meant to perform readiness. You are meant to embody it. Readiness is shown through consistency, self-respect, and emotional availability without desperation. You have learned how to hold space for yourself without needing external reassurance. That capacity is essential now. Love that is meant for you will meet you where you stand, not pull you back into versions of yourself you have already healed. This is why you were taught how to be alone without becoming lonely. Loneliness seeks relief. Wholeness recognizes alignment. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The reveal will not disrupt your life, it will integrate into it. You will not feel the need to abandon responsibilities or rearrange your identity to accommodate it. Instead, you will notice how naturally it fits. Conversations will feel purposeful. Time will feel intentional. Presence will feel grounding. This is not coincidence, it is compatibility crafted by divine intelligence. Your soulmate is being prepared to approach with clarity, not confusion. Their words will reflect intention, not ambiguity. Their actions will support their presence. They will not need convincing. They will not require chasing. They will arrive understanding the value of what stands before them. That understanding is what makes this connection sustainable. Love that must be persuaded eventually collapses. Love that recognizes truth endures. You have reached a point where you no longer romanticize potential at the expense of reality. You have learned to value consistency over promises, effort over words, integrity over charm. This discernment will serve you now. Divine connections do not bypass wisdom, they honor it. What is coming will not trigger anxiety disguised as excitement. It will bring peace that feels unfamiliar at first because you are not used to love arriving without turbulence. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the final truth is this: the hiding did not end abruptly, it ended deliberately. Heaven waited until both souls could stand without leaning, choose without fear, and commit without losing themselves. That moment is near. You are not behind. You are not late. You are precisely where alignment requires you to be. Continue living fully without monitoring the process. Continue trusting quietly without seeking constant confirmation. Continue honoring your inner knowing without demanding immediate manifestation. What God has spoken is already moving. What was hidden has been exposed to divine light. And what is guided by that light does not miss its destination. Your name was called, my beloved soul, and that call is still echoing. Everything that belongs to you is responding. My beloved soul, this is the closing movement, not because the story ends, but because understanding completes its circle here. What God began when He called your name has now reached the point where resistance dissolves completely. The fear that once questioned timing has softened. The doubt that once whispered delay has lost its authority. You are no longer standing at the edge wondering if something will happen. You are standing within certainty, even if the form has not fully appeared yet. That certainty is not emotional excitement, it is spiritual knowing. When divine alignment reaches this stage, it no longer needs signs to survive. It carries its own confirmation. You may notice that your prayers sound different now. They are calmer. They are less about asking and more about trusting. You no longer plead for love to find you. You speak as though you know it is already moving toward you. This shift did not happen by accident. Heaven reshaped your language so it could match your future. Words spoken from desperation cannot steward destiny. Words spoken from alignment can. This is why silence has felt comfortable lately. Silence is no longer empty. It is full of assurance. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because this awareness seals what has been unfolding. The final stage of revelation is always internal. Before the outer meeting, there is inner completion. You are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are standing as someone who knows they are already chosen. This does not make you passive. It makes you grounded. Grounded souls do not rush what is meant to last. They allow it to arrive whole. Your soulmate is reaching the same internal arrival. The running has ended. The questioning has quieted. What once felt like confusion is now clarity settling into place. They understand what they have been avoiding, and more importantly, they understand why. The call they felt was not pressure, it was truth calling them forward. When truth speaks long enough, it becomes impossible to ignore. They are no longer hiding from connection, they are stepping toward it with awareness. This is why the meeting, when it unfolds, will feel natural rather than dramatic. There will be no chaos attached to it. No emotional whiplash. No guessing games. It will feel like two paths that were always meant to intersect finally doing so. You will recognize this by how calm your body feels, how steady your breath remains, how present your mind stays. Nervous anticipation will not dominate. Peace will lead. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because the final truth reshapes how you understand love itself. Love that comes from God does not arrive to rescue you from yourself. It arrives to walk beside you as yourself. You will not feel the need to shrink, impress, or perform. You will feel free to exist honestly. That freedom is the signature of divine design. Where freedom exists, fear cannot rule. The hiding season ended not when movement began, but when readiness was completed. Heaven does not rush sacred unions. It ensures sustainability. That is why every delay mattered. Every quiet night mattered. Every unanswered question mattered. They were shaping capacity. You now have the capacity to receive love without losing identity, to share life without abandoning purpose, to commit without sacrificing peace. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The final revelation is not about the other person. It is about you. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You were never asking for too much. The depth you carry required someone who could meet it without fear. That person exists, and they are now capable of standing in that depth with you. Heaven ensured equality, not imbalance. When the connection manifests fully, you will notice how ordinary moments feel elevated. Conversations will feel intentional. Time will feel meaningful. Presence will feel nourishing. This is how divine love integrates. It does not overpower life, it enhances it. You will still be you, but supported. Still independent, but connected. Still whole, but shared. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the final word is this: nothing that belongs to you can remain hidden forever. Not when God calls your name. Not when alignment has been declared. Not when preparation is complete. What is meant for you responds to divine timing without resistance. It arrives without force. It stays without fear. You are no longer in waiting mode. You are in receiving posture. That posture is calm, open, and steady. Continue living fully. Continue trusting quietly. Continue honoring what you feel without chasing what you do not need to pursue. The path ahead is not uncertain. It is unfolding exactly as designed. God called your name, my beloved soul. The call was heard. The hiding has ended. And what steps forward now does so with clarity, intention, and peace. Type Amen.